Paul has been a Toastmaster for 6 years. He will be completing his second CC manual with project number 9, Persuade with Power. His speech is Brothers Against Distracted Drivers, which stands for, it's abbreviated as BADD. Let me introduce Scott.
March 20th, 2014. Nice spring day. A beautiful young woman enters in her car, a white Honda Prelude. She's on her way to work. Gets on Highway 60 towards Tempe. A distracted driver hits her from behind, sends her car careening into a path of an 18-wheeler. Half second later, the car was crushed. And later on that evening, my brother, waiting around for his fiancée forever, knocked on the door with 2 police officers and said, "Do you know Jennifer Harvard Stevenson?" "Yes." "Did she have a tattoo?" "Do you know where we can find her dental records?" Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Tonight I want to talk to you about the dangers of distracted driving, why it has become a growing problem, what we should do about it. Did you know that every 30 seconds there's an accident caused by distracted driving? In fact, when I deliver the speech, there'll be 14 such accidents. So let me give you some good news, if we can call this good news. Car accidents, fatalities, have decreased over the past 30 years. From a peak of about 53,000 in 1980 to down to about 36,000 in 2009. And I got this from the census.gov website. So how did this happen? Number one, safer roads. When I moved out to Phoenix in 1990, there were no left turn arrows. Can you imagine driving today without turn arrows? As those roads got wider, and cars have gotten safer too. And I may think cars are not as safe or sturdy, but recent engineering developments and safety standards have made cars much safer than they were 20 or 30 years ago. Mostly thanks to Ralph Bader. Before him, there were no safety standards. And another thing that's a factor is drunk driving. Drunk driving deaths are down by 20%. Reason being is better awareness, stricter laws, and programs. We're all familiar with the designated driver program. Have you gone to the game and see someone with a t-shirt that says designated driver? 20 years ago, that didn't happen. Well, these are good advances, but still, accidents are the leading cause of death for people from ages 5 to 34. And 36,000 lives a year, to me, is still 36,000 too many. Now that we have technology to make cars and roads safer, we have technology that are making drivers more dangerous. I've texted while driving, I've called on the phone. Sometimes my phone will beep and I get that urge, I'm at the stoplight to do it. After that event a month ago, I don't do such things anymore. I hope I never do. That urge to pick up my phone and answer it. It's not worth it. Is it worth my life to answer a phone call? Which most time may not even be important. So you may think that innocent text means nothing. The average text takes how long? Anybody guess? 5 seconds. Do you know how far a car travels in 5 seconds at highway speeds? The length of 2 football fields. Think about it, put this in perspective. The Arizona Cardinals take a whole hour to move across 1 football field. The problem is that people, they think the car as a cool thing or a device to get them from point A to point B. In reality, a car is a loaded weapon. Now imagine Dennis walking around Toastmasters with a loaded bazooka. He goes, "Oh, I just got a test." Okay, and the weapon's waving everywhere. How would you feel? And that's exactly what people do every day in their cars. They realize their cars are loaded weapons. A car crashing at 70 miles per hour is the same as a car falling from a 10-story building. People don't realize the force that's involved in accidents. And we take transportation for granted. We think that it's never going to happen. One quick thing's not going to happen again. These are serious things. And do we have laws in Arizona against text driving? Not really. I went to distracteddriver.gov. 43 states have laws against texting. 12 states have laws against using a handheld phone and talking. Arizona has laws only for school bus drivers. You feel safe? I don't. No, like most Americans, I hate laws. I don't like things that take away my liberty. But for things like motorcycle helmets, I agree, there should not be a law, because if I choose to wear or not wear a helmet, I'm only going to affect myself. But since we're driving at high speeds on the highway, we're in a loaded weapon. And my actions inside a car can affect people around me. And with this recent family tragedy, some distracted driver affected the whole family and many people around that. But our proposed for Arizona law will be a ban against cell phone usage and texting. Fines and fines work. How about prison sentence? Or how about a day in jail, like they do for DUI? That would really scare people, wouldn't it? I would hate to do that. And what do you think is worse? Texting or driving drunk?
Texting.
Because a car driver did a study in 2010 that took a normal driver, a driver impaired to about 0.08 blood alcohol level, that's the legal limit in most states, and they had a driver that was texting and emailing. They did a test where they stopped 70 miles per hour. The drunk driver took 4 extra feet to stop. The person reading the email took 36 extra feet. The person texting took 70 extra feet. That's 4 car lengths. That was right there how dangerous it is. We think that we're not drunk, therefore it's okay to text. It's not. Now, I don't know what the future holds for the state, but I urge all of you tonight to take this pledge. Is number 1, don't text and drive or even use a cell phone to drive. Pull over if you have to. Number 2, if you're in a car and someone's doing such actions, tell a person, stop. And number 3, encourage your friends and your family and your loved ones to not text and drive or use their cell phone. Sorry to be depressing tonight, but I think sometimes we need an important message to get across. And I wish you all a safe drive home.